Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another how-to video for you, and what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at MDF coasters. So these are the MDF coasters with the cork back. Oh, if I drop them. So yeah, they come in a square variety and they come in a circle. So we're going to do the square one today, but the same thing applies to the circle ones as well. Right, before we jump into that, let's have a look at what you're going to need. Heat press. So we are going to use the Prima heat presses auto plus press for this one. This is a 40 by 50 press, but any flat press should work just as well. Then you're going to need a printer. So in this video we're using the Epson F100 sublimation printer, so this little A4 sublimation printer. You're going to need some sublimation paper. We're using the Prima paper for this transfer. You're then going to need some ink. So obviously we're using the Epson ink for the F100 printer here. And you're going to need something to measure your blank with so you get your artwork the right size. So I've got a little measuring tape there on top of the printer as well. Now to hold the transfer down, you're also going to want some heat tape. So add that to your list there. You're also going to want to use some baking paper like we've got here, or something like a Teflon sheet or some polyester fabric, just to cover over the blank teddy while they're in the press. This not only protects the fur a little bit from coming into contact with the heating element, but it also protects your press from any back transfer of ink. And your blank. Great, so now we've got all our stuff together, let's get the product on the bench and we'll get it measured up for the print size. Right guys, so there's the coaster on the bench. We just need to measure it up now for the print. So we are looking at 95 that way, and just to double check that it is completely square, yep, 95 that way. So you want a square, so it's a square 95 by 95 millimeters. What I would suggest, because you can print edge to edge on these and it'll be a heck of a lot easier to line it up, is that you actually oversize your artwork by 3 mil on each edge. That'll just give you a visual reference to line it up. So if you want, even if you've only got text in the middle, I would scale it to that size and then put a black line around the outside, just so that you know when you line that line up with the blank, you're going to get your print in the middle. Right, let's get something printed. Right guys, so now we've got everything measured up and the print's done, we are going to set the temperature on the press so that this is where we want it to be. So I want this to be set at 170 degrees for these coasters, and I want the time to be at 80 seconds. As you can see, the press is a little bit warm at the moment, so we'll let that cool down. While that's cooling down, we will get the artwork put onto the blank. Okay guys, so to get the artwork onto the blank, these are really straightforward. So if you remember, I said that when you print your artwork, put 3 mil on each edge, so it makes it easier for you to line up. Now what I've done is here, just so you can see it on the camera, is I've over exaggerated that bleed. So whereas normally you just have a little 3 mil either side, I've gone to about 10, just so you guys can see it. What that allows you to do is a lot easier to square everything up and make sure the text that you want in the middle is going to be in the middle. So once it's there, all I want to do is just pop a few bits of tape on the corners like that, and there. I really don't want this moving while it's in the press, because that can lead to all sorts of problems, including it sort of coming off square and everything looking a bit sort of slanted and stuff like that, so we don't want that. But yep, that's that taped on. Let's get it into the press and see how we go. Alright, so now that we're over to the press, we've got our coaster with the artwork tied to it, taped to it should I say, and what we're going to do is we want to press this with a light to medium pressure. So you don't want to overkill these, so I've dialed the press down a little bit. What we're going to do is, because we're printing past the edge of the blank, we don't want that ink transferring onto here. So, the sheet of baking paper will sort that out for us. That'll just catch any of the loose ink. That goes on there. So you want your print facing up towards the heat plate, and then you want to pop your baking paper on top again. That's going to stop any back transfer from getting onto your heating element. I'll close the press down. And we'll come back when that's done, and we'll have a look at what we've got. Alright, we're nearly there on the press. Just going to let it count down the last few seconds. With these auto open presses, I tend to just rest my hand on the top, just so I can catch the plait when it jumps. Obviously you can just let it go all the way. There we go. So you want to get rid of that, and we want to get the paper off as quick as we can. So I'm just going to grab the end and get the paper off like that. And there we go, we'll get that onto the bench and we'll have a look at it. Hi guys, and that's it. That's how you do the MDF coasters with the cork back on them. So the same process works for this one as does for the round one. So yeah, if you've got any questions about that, drop us a comment in the comment section below. Obviously we've got a lot more how-tos coming on the channel. We've got some other exciting stuff as well. So thanks for watching and happy sublimating.